This is Vince from Listings to Leads, and thanks for taking the time to join us. So what we are is an online real estate marketing company. We do have some print tools as well, but what we really focus on is generating leads. So when you look at the right side of my screen, you'll see all these tools, and some of these tools you kind of recognize. Virtual tours, single property websites, things like that. And the difference from our tools is that we always focus on generating leads. So while you're used to these tools, you maybe have seen them in the past, you haven't quite seen them look like ours, and you haven't seen them interact like ours. So there's this one section here which is what we do, and we have listings and how we market listings and how we generate buyers and how we generate referrals. There's a whole nother platform which you have access to, which helps you find listings. So let's say you only have one listing or you have no listings. We've got tools to help you build your business there as well. So we're gonna, with the office, everybody can have access to this. When you get your user ID and password from Eric, don't go over here and create a free trial, because you're just gonna gunk up the works and you're gonna be stuck for a couple days while everybody else is running. But over here, on the top right is a button that says login, and you know what? You click that and that's where you log in. So I'm going to sign into my account, and just so you understand, we're not going to work in yours because mine is a little bit more set. We're pulling your listings in automatically, and then we auto generate a bunch of tools, and then some tools we don't generate, but you can sort of create yourself as you need them. But I want to point out what's kind of here. Once you get in, you're going to have access to something called Agent Desktop, and you can see that at the top of my page. And there's always this little pop-up right here, and I recommend that you pay attention to this whenever you log in, because this is the fastest way we can communicate with all of our clients. So we have a really awesome recorded webinar here with Shannon Pyatt, and this talks about landing pages in Facebook, and specifically how to generate listing leads and how to generate buyer leads too, and with landing pages. So we're going to look at that at the tail end of the call. We're going to look at some of the core tools right now and how to get started. We also have live training every Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and you can sign up right here, and there's some recorded stuff here. So I'm going to click to the left, and that'll close the page. And this is the home page. So when you log in, there's a couple things I really want you to be familiar with. First of all, this is a link to our mastermind group, and there are over 1,000 of our clients all across the country talking about how they're applying what we're doing to their business, and they're talking about how they're getting leads, how they're converting leads. And since you're brand new to us, I definitely recommend that you get in that group and you see what's going on. Of course, we've got online tutorials here, and over here is kind of getting started. It's a getting started page tutorial. We're going to kind of go over that real quickly on this call. Then there's a section here called Facebook advertising, and I'm going to click on that now because it is something that I want you to be familiar with. Actually, this is something that I want all of our clients to be familiar with, this particular page. And the reason being is that when you're marketing in real estate, there's all kinds of things that right? I don't know, you know about Realtor.com, and you know about Zillow, and you know about sending things to your farm market, and all kinds of great things that you've learned from being a real estate agent for how many years that you've been a real estate agent. But you may not be very familiar with what's going on Facebook and how you're able to drive right into the cities that you want to build your business and build your business. And we're actually really, really good at it. And to get the first glimpse of the tools that you're going to want to look at, you would want to come to this page and click this little button here and watch this video. And we're actually going to go look at some of that stuff, but I want you to know this is here. Right here is a link that shows you how to place an ad on Facebook. And my guess is, at least half of you have never done that. It is, however, something that a lot of agents across the country are doing, and they're getting hundreds of leads out of it, and they're getting listing leads, right? So then here's an interview of a kind of another, top performing agent, and that's just really good stuff. All of that, you need to come and kind of own this page right here, Facebook advertising. If you've got open houses, or if you're holding an open house for somebody else because you want to get leads, you want to come look at this open house button right here, because we've got a lot of tools for open house marketing and they generate leads. Okay. Now there's a listing presentation, and Eric, I'm going to send you that listing presentation so you can share it with your team. And that's kind of it. That's everything here on the homepage. All right. So since you're going to be brand new to this, we've set up a basic profile, but I want to walk through the profile real quickly so that you can see what you need to be doing, right? So there's a couple things here. Your email address is going to be in there, and it's going to say send leads to, and then send tools to, right? And obviously a lead is lead and tools here. You might have somebody or some system that you want to be copied on your leads, right? Maybe you've got a little CRM or something like that. Maybe you've got an assistant that you want to send the tools to. You can put the email there and check that box here. Don't worry about these things here, but if you do have Zillow agent reviews, meaning there you've got reviews of yourself on Zillow, check that box and we'll auto-populate them to your tools. And we've already set up the color scheme for you. One thing that you might want to be conscious of is YouTube connection. Now, we're going to actually create a virtual tour automatically for every one of your listings, and we're going to upload it to YouTube for you. We're going to do it on our channel, and if we set up the channel on the office plan, we'll put it there. But if you've got your own real estate channel, you can associate it right here and check this box here and connect your YouTube channel to listings to leads, and we'll upload there for you. If you need to know how to do it, you can click this here. Then, of course, if you want to put your social networks down here, you put your links in there and you update and save. So that's kind of that section right there, right? So I'm going to jump over to the listings page, and we're going to kind of real quickly just glance at some of the tools. And I'm going to explain the tools that are auto-generated, and then I'm going to explain how to really take advantage of them, okay? So at a high level, we've got all your listings coming in, all right? If you want to edit here, this blue button, you can upload new photographs if you got some new, professional photographs. If you want, you can put an open house time on that page. Here you can add lead generation links, and this is a really important, unique piece of our system, and so I'm going to dive into it in just a minute. We auto-generate a single property website for every listing, and we email it to you. We auto-generate a virtual tour for every listing, and we email it to you. We auto-upload to YouTube, our channel, the office channel, your channel if you associate it on your profile. We also create e-flyers and print flyers, and we actually create a whole campaign of flyers for every listing. So we can start it coming soon or just listed. We'll have open house. We might have price reduced. We might have under contract, and of course just sold. And these are great for generating leads, buyer leads, even seller leads, but they're also really excellent at building a referral base for you. And I'll explain to you what that looks like. We have a parallel Facebook ad campaign. And these are the core tools, okay? These two red buttons and these two blue buttons are the core tools if you have a listing. We also have a QR code for every listing, which means that your homes are also mobile optimized. So if somebody took a picture of a QR code, it would take them to a mobile website, and that mobile website is also designed to generate leads for you. We also set up, over here you'll see a blog area, and we actually set up a WordPress blog for you, and we post every one of your listings to that blog with your contact information, agent's contact information. So it's got a lot of lead gen there for you. It's got nice SEO. You can tell your client you're posting to WordPress, and you don't have to do anything. It just gets done. Over here is a way to get to Craigslist, and if you click on it, there's some instructions and some tools there. We recommend that you post to Craigslist if you're looking for leads, because it's generating leads. So let's dive under one of these deals here, and I'm going to kind of scroll to the left. So there's a couple of components about listings to leads that I think are really kind of unique. And I'm going to click on this coming soon single property website to explain that. And you click on the red buttons and then you kind of see your stuff here. So, we're obviously in real estate marketing, and so that would make sense. But there are a couple of things that we kind of know, right? We want to create tools that generate leads, and we also want to create tools. Now, this is kind of a bad example here because I can see a video's coming up. So we want to generate leads, but we also don't want to just market a home one time, because since our tools can actually generate leads, and what I mean by generating leads is over here it says follow this home. If we click follow this home, and this is actually going to automatically pop up after a few seconds, it's designed to capture a quick lead, name and email. Schedule a showing, clearly that's going to drive, somebody wants to see this home. And both of those kinds of leads are going to go get emailed directly to you. Then we've also got search all homes for sale and what is your home worth. And this one isn't a good example. I'm going to show you a better one. But over here, we've got this banner that says coming soon. And so we want to take the tools that we have and we want to market things multiple times. And we actually send these tools to you automatically, so that you can market it. You can just send them out, you can share them, you can do whatever. And this one here has better lead generation links, so we're going to move over here real quickly and explain to you why we even do this. So when people look at our tools and we create our tools, we create these things that we call lead generation links, okay? And I got to explain this to you because this is very unique for listings to leads, and it can really help your business. When people look at our tools, meaning consumers look at our tools, about 30% of them click links like this and get off of our tools into your website, right? So this home is in Buffalo, and what we know and what you know, because you've been in real estate for however long, is that the majority of people that see your home online don't actually want to buy your home, right? I don't know, the kitchen's wrong, it's got carpets, it doesn't have carpets, it's got a pool, it has this or that, but the majority of people are not going to buy that home, right? But what we do know is if they clicked on it, they were interested in property. So we want to take advantage of that interest and create links that are going to kind of be call to actions and say, hey, yeah, I really want that. What we know in this kind of concept here is this home is in Buffalo. So that's the one thing we know, they're interested in Buffalo homes. So we want to have a link that says Buffalo homes for sale. Buffalo Terrace is like the really nice neighborhood in Buffalo, right? So if you've got really nice neighborhoods where you know people want to buy homes and they're always looking to buy homes and they're, good neighborhood where you're building your business, build a link and drive people to your website. You might have a price point in your area where you're selling homes that is really relevant where, homes fly off the shelves. We'll create a price point there. But in all cases, and I'm going to click on Buffalo homes for sale, I'm sure I'm pushing over to one of my clients' websites. That's the key. We want to push right over off of our platform to yours. Because if you're in real estate and you've got your own website, you know how it is. You probably don't have a lot of traffic on that site, right? And in this way, we can get them off of our tools into your website and ideally capture a lead there. So that's a really nice, really important piece about listings to leads, is that we can actually get right in here and have those links in the single property website, in the virtual tour, in all of our print, all of our e-flyers, all of our Facebook ads, and in our mobile website and in our WordPress blogs. Those links I'm talking about are in all of those tools. So now you've actually got a system that's like, wow, if I use all of this stuff, I've got multiple ways of getting clients to not only see my home, but if they don't want that home, they can actually click a link and get into my system. So how do you create those links? Well, there's a column right here that says select lead generation links, and that's a really good way to do that. You just click there, and you can also, from here, add a link, right? You can call it Buffalo Homes for Sale. Put a link to your website and click active and click save, and that's going to make that link active on that listing, okay? And you can see here I've got mine saved already and done here. I'm going to take off for Lee's Valley, and I'm going to click save, and then I can put it in the right order, and that's good, and save and close. And now all those links are flowing through all these tools. So that's good stuff, right? I'm going to click on the single property website here, and I want you to know what to do with this, right? Now that I've got it, where does this go? It does have a little bit of SEO, not a ton, because listings don't last that long on the internet. So what we want you to do is we want you to share it. Underneath your picture on the left-hand side are share buttons for all the major social networks. Number one you should be sharing to is Facebook. Number two is Pinterest. And beyond that, there are other social networks, but these two get the most traffic. So we do recommend that you do it and you post to those. So that's a single property website. And as I'm kind of walking through that, I want to point out kind of a cheat sheet here, because I'm going to send this to Eric, and I'm hoping we send it to you. All right? This is a little email. It's really simple, but I want you to see that what we're talking about ties to this. First of all, there's a getting started webinar, which is kind of what we're doing here today. There's a Facebook lead gen, and as you know, I started the call talking about Facebook and saying you need to master it. This link here will actually show you how to do that. And then there's a link to our mastermind group, which I said is really important. And then I say for your new listings, choose the right lead generation links to your website we just looked at. Share your single property website to Facebook and Pinterest, Google, Twitter, LinkedIn are optional. And then put your branded virtual tour on Zillow. So we've talked about these first two things. What on earth is this Zillow virtual tour? So let's go look at that. So that's a single property website. We've chosen the right links. We share it to our social networks, and then we close it. Okay? If I can actually hit it. There we go. And then this is the virtual tour. So I need you to pay attention on this question here of the virtual tour, because a lot of people have ideas of what they want to do. And I want to tell you what Listings to Leads wants you to do, because we want you to generate leads. All right? We create a branded and an unbranded virtual tour. We prefer, unless you've got time to test out your MLS, that you ignore the unbranded virtual tour in your MLS, putting it in your MLS. Just ignore that concept. I know that's one that's baked into you, but it doesn't generate leads, and that's why we want you to ignore it. But what we do want you to do is take the branded virtual tour and put it on Zillow and Trulia. Your listings probably are on Zillow and Trulia. You have the ability to edit your own listings, and it takes about a minute or a half a minute. And I'll show you what you do. You copy the virtual tour. But if you don't know how to do that, you can click this button right here, and there's a little 2-minute video showing you how to put it on Zillow, and another 2-minute video here showing you how to put it on Trulia. All right? And then here you click branded virtual tour, and your branded virtual tour is here. And you can copy the link here. You can go to Zillow and Trulia and drop it in. We'll just click on it real quick so we can look at it together. And it looks like our single property website, right? Except there will be a slideshow virtual tour spinning right here in the middle in just a second. But the big thing is those lead generation links on the side, we want those to get clicked on, right? So your listings get seen on Zillow and Trulia a lot. But when they get seen on Zillow and Trulia, many times the leads are being sold to 1 or 4 other real estate agents. Maybe not you, right? In this case, if there's any interest of the property, people are going to click on that property and they're going to, oh, there's a virtual tour. I look at it, and then, like I said, 30% of those people will click out of it and get to your website, or maybe just fill out something to follow this home. So that's why we really want you to use the branded virtual tour. And you can get it here, and you can put it, and here are the instructions on how to do that, okay? So that's our little cheat sheet. Put your branded virtual tour there, right? Then it says get your auto-generated e-flyer and Facebook ads to your client, and call them to make sure that they forward the post and post the tools. So you probably don't know what that is, so let's go look at that. And these are basically some of the core tools that are automatically emailed to you. And when they get emailed to you, many agents will just ignore it, right? And we don't want you to ignore it because they're really awesome in generating buyer leads and referrals. So let's look at what those actually look like, okay? And I'm going to click this blue button that has a white envelope that says under the e-flyer, and this is where it is. Okay, so there's a couple of bigger themes in the e-flyers. That one, when we talk about e-flyers to real estate agents, I can imagine that half of you right now, your eyeballs are just right back in the top of your head, right? This is as boring as it's going to get. E-flyers, who cares? But you can see here that we've got a lot of e-flyers. And the reason why we do it is every one of those e-flyers has a different thing going on, right? There's a just listed flyer. There's a single property website flyer, virtual tour, pending or under contract, open house, and of course just sold. And you can probably imagine all of those flyers have those same lead generation links that can drive people to your own website. These things are designed to capture leads. There's also another really important piece about it, and I'll show you in a second. But what we want you to do, we automatically send these to you. We want you to take them and forward them to your client. And the first tool we want you to get to your client is over here called the seller engagement email. If you click view, you'll kind of see what this thing looks like. This is my banner up here, right? That's my office, but we'll have your office banner, and then there'll be a few pictures of the home. And then there's this big long thing saying your home is being marketed, and it's got a bunch of text talking about what you're doing. A lot of this we're doing for you automatically. A lot of graphics. It's meant to be wordy because it's meant to impress your clients, your listing clients, and it's going to have your pick and your logo down there, right? Of like, here's everything I'm doing to get, to market your home. That's the story. 80% of that we're doing automatically for you, right? But you need to get that out there so that they know, hey, we're doing a lot of work for you. Then these flyers start coming out and they get emailed to you, or you can click this button here and send them directly to your client. And when we look at it, I'm going to click on view here. I want to explain to you why these flyers are so effective. They're effective in a couple ways. On the left, you see that red box. First of all, there's the normal stuff about the home. And there are the links to get people right out of the email into your website, right? But every flyer, if you see this text up here, every flyer is talking about you, and it's not really designed. I think when you think of a flyer, at the most, you think, oh, somebody called me and has information on a house. I'm going to send them a flyer, right? It's colorful, it's branded, it's got my number, they can call me if they got questions. But that's not happening. Your phone isn't ringing off the hook, right? So why not send them a flyer that can answer some questions like what is your home worth, or go check out other homes in your area. But above the flyer, every time you receive one is a message pointing to you saying send this to your client, right? And it says above every flyer, it has a message similar to this. Dear friends, we have hired, in this case, Vincent Meza at Lafayette Realty to sell our home to increase market exposure. We would ask you to forward this as many people as you can to help us sell our home faster, right? So the strategy here is, let's get this flyer in front of your clients, friends, and family and sphere of influence, right? Because that's actually where you get referrals from. I know if you're thinking of referrals, you're thinking I'm going to close a transaction and leave some business cards and hopefully they'll remember me one day. But in our world, your clients, their friends and family and colleagues can see your name multiple times when it's a home just listed. Maybe it's a virtual tour, maybe it's an open house, maybe it's under contract, and of course just sold, right? Maybe even price reduced. All of these events can be marketing the same home, right? And that's what the whole e-flyer thing looks like. There's also a just sold look as well, right? And so when we click on so there's the e-flyer and there's Facebook. And so every time there's a flyer, we also give you a Facebook ad. And let's look at that, right? So it kind of looks the same, but if we click in view, we'll see that it has a slightly different look. Let's see here. Click view. And again, there's a message saying, hey, get this to your client. And what is the strategy? The strategy is to tell your client, and it's actually written in the message, copy this, and client, you put this on your Facebook. Not on the agent's business page, not on the agent's personal page, not on the office website. You may not know this, but organic reach from your business page on Facebook is close. It is somewhere between 0 and 6% of the people that like your page. So if any of you have built a business page and you got 100 or a couple hundred people following you, if that, and you post something on there, 0 to 6% of those people are going to see it. And that's because Facebook is trying to drive you to use their pay-per-click business, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But here, if your client copies this and puts it on their wall, well, all of their friends and family are going to see it, because Facebook is fine with people sharing stuff like that. But every message is talking about you, coming from them and saying, hey, I'm working with this agent and our home is open, right? So let's go over here to Facebook and let's see if I can get to my business page. Give me a second. And I think I posted a just sold flyer so I can show you kind of what it's going to look like. I think I did it yesterday. So let's look at it. Give me a second. I'm going to take a sip of coffee while that's baking. Yeah, it's right here. So all you got to do is copy and paste, and of course I'm jumping around. But what it's saying is our home is sold, and we want to recommend Vincent Meza, and here's his name and phone number. Awesome job, right? That's what these tools look like on Facebook. Now I want to point out from here it says listings to leads, and that's because I do this as a demo. But it's going to actually say from your client, and it's going to be talking about you to all their friends and family on Facebook. So I know that many of you are on Facebook, and I'm probably sure many of you hate Facebook. But what you should know about Facebook is it is the #2 website in the United States. And that's because people spend a lot of time on this website. So you need to have a good solid strategy of how to market and tell people that you are in real estate and also generate leads from it, right? Another thing about Facebook as of November of 2014, which is last fall, is it is found that 71% of adults, not teenagers, in the United States are on Facebook. And since you're trying to build a business in your local markets, you probably want to be where 71% of them are. And that is Facebook, right? So let's go look at my little cheat sheet that you're going to have soon and just kind of go through it. The first thing we said is choose the right lead gen links, share your single property website to Facebook and Pinterest, put your branded virtual tour on Zillow and Trulia, get the auto-generated e-flyer and Facebook ads to your client and call them. You only need to do it for 5 to 10 seconds to make sure that they forward those posts and post those tools. That's it, okay? Then down here it says something, put property valuation and listing landing pages on Facebook, 20 and 30 bucks a day. This is, and this is like advanced stuff, right? So what we've been talking about right now is the core tools. You've got listings. How do we get that out there in just a basic way, right? I want to take care of my clients. I want to market their homes for them, get them excited, get this home sold. So the tools we just talked about are definitely going to do that. But what if you want to really get your business growing, and what if you really want to get leads, get more listings, build your business? What's a good way to do that? Well, I've kind of been yammering on about it. Facebook is a really great way to do that. And we're definitely going to jump into that right now. So up here is a tab called landing pages. And when you click it, you'll see that there are a lot of landing pages, okay? And they're kind of two sections. This is our older section, and over here on the right in the blue bar are the newer tools. But all of them work, and they work for different things, right? We've got some for FSBOs. We've got some for expireds. If you go over here to Property Valuation Plus, you'll see that we've got property valuation where you can get an online evaluation in just seconds. We've got other valuation pages. And then we've got growing family kind of deals. You got empty nester kind of deals. You got all kinds of stuff, right? And so when I told you to go to the home page and use that Facebook advertising, it's going to show you how to run an ad, right? But I'm gonna kind of walk you through it right now because some of you may have never seen this. Okay. First of all, when you want to create, when you get your ID and password, I'm going to just show you. I'm going to click on Property Valuation Plus because I always tell people to kind of start there. You'll see I've got a bunch of pages, right? Because I've been doing this for a while. And you can have a bunch of pages. It's kind of unlimited. So if you've got 4 or 5 or 10 towns where you're trying to build your business, you can create one for every one of those towns. So let's go here to the landing page dashboard. And how would we create a button like that? Well, we'd actually go up here into this box. It says type farm area and sales box, sales area. So you could type in, I don't know, I'm just going to type in Eugene, right? Whatever town, even if you wanted to focus on a neighborhood, right? Like some sort of, let's say like a golf course community or something like that. Type in what you need, just like that, just the city or the neighborhood, and click save. When you click save, it's going to create a Eugene page under every one of these buttons, every one of these pages. So I'm going to click here to Property Valuation Plus. I didn't save that. And I'm going to show you my Lafayette page. So, first of all, this is a landing page to get in front of people who want to find out their home worth, right? Because people who want to know what their home is worth are somewhere in the back of their mind thinking of selling that home, right? And I'm going to walk you through it, but before I show you what this thing does, I want to point out that you can edit this to change the background picture. This background picture, and this is an important piece. When you're going to take this and put it on Facebook or anywhere else, if it doesn't look relevant to me in my neighborhood or in my city, I'm just going to ignore it, especially if it's on Facebook, right? You guys are on the internet and you see all kinds of places where you can fill out and give them your email address, but you don't want to give everybody your email address, right? Who does? And that's what you're expecting to have people do when you're running an ad like this. So this picture you definitely got to look at, and you got to think, does it mean anything to my market, right? This is the Lafayette Reservoir. I live in Lafayette, and this is where everybody walks their dog and their kids. It's right in the center of town. So anybody that lives in Lafayette knows this place. There is probably a place like that in your farm markets, in the areas where you're trying to build your business. It might be a downtown street, it might be a bridge, it might be a park sign. Who knows what it is? You know what it is, I don't. But you need to get that picture and upload it in the background by clicking Edit Landing Page here instead of See Landing Page. You click Edit, and I'm just going to take you there. We're not going to upload a picture, but you can see right here it says Landing Page Image. Choose a file, upload it, bang, you're done. That's going to turn our generic looking page into one that is customized to your area. You need to do that before you start running ads. Believe me, the results are radically different when you do that. So you get your page like this, and then you say, okay, well, what do I do with that? How do I get that out there? I will tell you this, a lot of our clients are taking the website address and they're putting it on a postcard. They're putting it on a letter and they're getting it mailed to their target market, and they're getting a lot of good leads that way. But the way that many of our clients are doing it, and if you want to do that postcard thing, go to our mastermind group and type in postcard and you will see a really awesome template for a postcard that our clients are using. We're actually going to be building it into the system soon. But it allows you to just get something like this in front of your target market, help them get a valuation, and of course you get a lead. So let's kind of go through how this thing works, and then I'm going to show you how to run an ad on Facebook, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. So if you got questions after that, after the Facebook page, let me know. So the point of how this works is I'm going to just type in an address, and you put it in, and it goes bang. It just starts to take you to the next page. And it says, hey, please verify this information. Is this what it is? Now, and then there's a picture of the house over there on the right, and you can say, yeah, that's right. It's an excellent condition. It's got all this and that. Okay, the information is correct. All right. And when they click correct, it says, the page says, great, we have the valuation for this address. And I don't know if you can see it because you're on a web little screen where you are, but in the background is the valuation, but I can't get it until I give you my contact information, right? And you can see that that's exactly the point. We want to get contact information here, right? And then click here. Why are you interested? Well, I'm interested because I need to sell, or maybe I'm just thinking about selling, right? Okay, great. Click for report. And when they click for a report, something should happen. I don't know why it didn't happen. Let's do it one more time. Come on, babe. Yeah, great. That's great. Oh, there we go. There we go. They get their report, right? They get their valuation. And that's nice. And they can also schedule a showing if you want like a better thing right there. And so they're looking right here. Your contact information is over there on the right. They're looking at the valuation in their home. And you, the real estate agent, get emailed on the contact information with this valuation. So you know exactly, I don't know if you can see it, I got an email pop up saying, hey, here's the lead you just got. And I also have a text message on my phone saying, hey, somebody just filled out this page and here's their phone number, right? And you could go look at that and go, okay, they got a valuation for whatever, 800 grand. And you could say, listen, I just saw that you got that. Does that number seem right to you? Is that high or low? What can we do, right? If they're good for that, no. Did you do any improvements? And get that dialogue going, right? That's the whole point of this. Get leads, get business. And that's what this page does, right? So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to now walk you through how you actually get this on Facebook. Now, you can't see it because my little recording does not have the web address, but there's a web address up on the top. It starts with searchallproperties.com/something, something, something. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go to Facebook. So from here, I'm going to walk you through this. And I know most of you, your heads are spinning right now, and you're like, what is this guy talking about? And this is just too much. At the beginning of this call, I told you where you can get resources to see this, but I'm going to walk you through it right now anyway so you can see it one time live. Over here on Facebook is a little pointed arrow, and you can click on Create Ads, okay? And here when we're doing it here, my system runs a little bit slow because I've got GoToMeeting running, I've got some recording software running, and right around here it just starts to get really janky and slow. But we'll give it a minute, and then it'll work, and then you'll see why. Now I'm going to take a sip of coffee again while we're waiting for that. Okay, yeah, we're almost there. So it gives you these objectives, and the objective in this way is to send people to your website, okay? Now just to be clear, we're not sending them to your website, we're sending them to our little one-page property valuation website, but we're sending them to your website. That's what it means. So we click here, and it kind of pops up a little box where you can paste in your website. So I'm going to paste that in, and then you click on it here, and you can see a little wheel. It starts to think and do its thing. Great. And I guess you got to click continue now. Is that right? Okay. Facebook makes changes faster. Well, no, not as fast as we do. We make a lot of changes to our system. We add a lot of tools, which is why you need to join our mastermind group, because God, we add tools almost every 2 weeks, if not sooner. So here's the real power of Facebook. It is actually right here. And so you need to see this and understand what is going on here. I just I pasted in a page for Lafayette home values, right? And so here it says, who do you want your ads to reach? And since 71% of the people in the United States or adults are in Facebook, I want to reach people in Lafayette, right? And it'll go Lafayette, California. And I need you to pay attention to this right here. It says Lafayette, by default it says Lafayette plus 25 miles. Now, just so you know, and you can see a little map here. This is cool. This is brand new as of today. This did not exist, this map. 25 miles out is San Francisco. And nobody in San Francisco, well, there are some people who may work there, but you want this to be only visible by people in Lafayette. So you can actually click this arrow and say no radius. This means they got to live in Lafayette to see my Lafayette ad. And that's good because, you know, you're paying for clicks. You want to make sure it's relevant. And that's that point. Now you can also bracket age. Okay? And homes are a little pricey in Lafayette. I don't think there are many 19-year-olds. I'm going to like just start at 30, right? And I'm sure there's some kind of, you know, internet baby here that's got, you know, $1 billion and owns a home here in Lafayette, but not many. So I'm just going to go here. And then there's more demographics and there's all this other stuff. And right now, I would ignore it. If you're brand new to this, I would ignore all this stuff. I know some people like to do it. It really tightens the filter so tight that you don't get any results. And so it's really the big point is the zip code and the age. Here's another big point. What is your budget? So in this case, we're running a property valuation ad. Your budget should be $10 or $20 a day. You're only going to run it for 3 days. You want to run it on the weekend, and then another time you want to run it during the week. And you want to compare those results and see what works better for you. For some people, it's awesome on the weekend. For other people, it's not. Okay? So I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that to $20. And I'm going to set my start and end date down here because otherwise it runs forever. And I'm going to say I want that to go for just, what day? It's Friday, right? Thank God. And I'm going to run it for just a couple days. So it says, okay, maximum $40. That's all I'm going to spend. And that's going to reach all the people in the town that I want to see it, right? And you'll find out after you've run it, they send you a little analytics snapshot. And you'll find out that thousands of people saw it. And that's really the power. That's a big piece of the power of Facebook. Not only are you going to capture leads, thousands of people are going to see you're a realtor. And, you know, clearly everybody wants that. Now you can actually upload more images, and I do recommend that. But I want to jump down into the main section here and talk about this because this is also another important point. So you can see this is over on the right is what it's going to look like. In this case, because I'm, you know, with Listings to Leads, it's going to say sponsored by Listings to Leads. But when you do it, it's going to be sponsored by your business page, okay? And that's, remember how I said thousands of people are going to see it? Well, they're going to see Find Out Your Lafayette Home Value by You Realtor, right? Whatever your business page is called. Now, this default language here is not awesome. It's just not awesome. So I want to point out that you can control the words above the photo and below the photo right here. So I'm going to give you one idea, and this idea, you should actually be on our mastermind group because our people talk about this all the time, is Find Out Your Home Value now is like, I don't know, that's about as compelling as cold toast. But something like this, like click here to get, and notice that while I type, well, it kind of runs slowly, the words will change on the right above the picture. To get your automated if I could spell, online valuation in less than, come on, 15 seconds. Now, if you go to my mastermind group, you're going to see one of our new clients. They just signed their office up last week. And go look for Gustavo Blockman. He ran an ad just like this in Miami. And as of yesterday has three full listing leads And one of them is in his office today to talk about selling their house. And he ran that ad on Tuesday, okay? And it's Friday today. So this little message I typed in, there is actually some relevance that you got to think of. And you do have to sort of think a little bit when you're doing this. It is not like a science, but more like an art. And one of the things that goes on is people don't want to give you their information, and they don't want to talk to you, right? They just want answers. And if you just point it straight up, hey, get your online automated valuation in seconds, they know, oh, I don't have to talk to a real estate agent. Awesome, I'm gonna do this, right? So this guy on our mastermind group, yeah, he's got more leads than that, but he's got 3 working right now in just a matter of days, and 1 is gonna be in his office today. When you're ready, you got all that ready, you place the order right here. And that's how you do it, right? That's how you run an ad on Facebook. And we definitely recommend that if you're interested in growing your business, that you take advantage of that kind of stuff. But there are a lot of tools inside of Listings to Leads that you can just go ahead and access, and you don't need to worry about Facebook, and I by all means recommend it. So Eric, that's kind of my story for today. Up here on the right is contact support, and I recommend that if you have questions, you put them right here in this box, because this is the fastest way. 3 people are watching that. There's a little chat panel. I hate it. People get lost in there. They're waiting an hour, all these sad stories. But this box here gets answered all the time. This phone number, that actually reaches me, and I make a lot of phone calls, so I may not get back to you for a day or 2. But this one,
hey Vincent, I think we're all good,
so,
man. So I
Eric,
really,
you got
really
any
appreciate
questions
everything. This is awesome stuff. Hey Vincent.
Okay, well, I'm going to put this up online. I'm going to send you this video, and I'm going to send you
Perfect,
my
man. We
awesome
really,
cheat
really
sheet
appreciate
here,
it.
and you can share all this with your agents.
Perfect, man. We really, really appreciate it.
All right, everybody, have a great weekend. We're really looking forward to help you, grow your business.
Hey, thanks, man.
Lean on our support team, and have